Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about the Battle of Gog and Magog that we are currently in. Biblically, we're told this happens one time. Actually, this battle happens every time we move from one age to another. This time, we're seeing it play out on a political scene in one aspect. I'll have to translate it out to show you what it means, but it's considered that many are in the valley of decision during this battle. And truly, that is exactly what's going on right now. Let's go over here to paint. Gog comes from a word called synagogue. And Gog itself means school or school of thought. It's an ideology. And sin being the Arabic word for the moon. So a synagogue is a mystery school that teaches about the mansions of the moon. So we have this battle between these two schools of thought, the Gog and the Magog. And they want one world order. It has to be reduced to one. And they call it the New World Order. To do this, today we would understand Gog as an order, a lodge, a fraternity. And there can be only one, as in the Highlander. In the Highlander, we're told that this battle comes down between the Scottish and the Russian, the Kurgan. And we're seeing them play this out in theater on the television now on the political scene. The Scottish right representing Albert Pike and America. And the Scottish right, and then the Russian right. There can be only one. And they want it to be this one. But this is all fake too. And I'll show you what they're doing. They tell us this is about democracy. And they want to spread democracy around the world. Number one, this country was not founded on a democracy. It was founded as a republic. This has been scammed on the people. Julius Caesar, let me back up. Democracy is a demo. That is a beta program. And it's run by the aristocracy, which is the school of thought of Aristotle. And you have democracy. That was from the Greeks. And the aristocracy are the rich. So this was their beta program so the rich could remain in control. And that was under the Greeks. Julius Caesar came in and he was of the aristocracy, but he was for the plebs, which are the publicans, and he wanted to republic, and that's how America was founded under the Scottish Rite, as a republic. Well, his friends stabbed him 23 times. 23 is the symbol W for magic. It was magic what they did. Really, they just changed the script, and they got rid of him, and through the years, they brought back this republic, but it is still run by the aristocracy. And they hide that themselves behind the corporations. This is all done in the age of Jupiter. Jupiter means expansion. and that is the driving force behind what we know as empire. The age to come is not about that. Saturn is about contraction. Saturn in Aquarius actually came up with this alchemical circle, the zodiac, because it's about borders and restrictions. Now, in the Bible, we're told this new Jerusalem that comes down out of heaven, which is North America and South America, adorned for her as a bride for her groom, is going to be the new zodiac representing this. And this wall they're trying to build, you'll find in the statements, you divide my land. They've got everybody looking at Jerusalem in the Middle East. And they provoke you in the media to affect you emotionally. Emotions are run by Mars, and that's your base chakra. It's the lowest. It's at the base. They use this tactic in the Hegelian dialect of problem, emotional reaction, so they can give you their solution. And it doesn't win for you either way. Let me show you. The battle that went on in Alabama, which is the big red X, that's their flag, and we know what that represents and what they're trying to impose. It's the big elephant in the room. Alabama football team is represented by the elephant, and they are the red tide. They're assuming all this symbology so they can try to take over. That's why I told you they were trying to set up a king in the South. They would just as soon divide this country because they want to set up a monarchy down there. Anyway, we have this battle in the news that happened in Alabama between the Republicans and the Democrats. The Republican's name was Roy, which means king, king of confusion, and more. You want some more king of confusion. And then the other side is Doug. Dig a grave, you dig a hole, and the Jones. It's the Joneses, keeping up with the Joneses. You want to dig in with the Joneses. These are the demos, the aristocracy beta program, and over here, he's the publican program. But it's anything but. My advice is just sit back and watch the show. This is the Battle of Gog and Magog. Now, as they play this out, biblically, we're told that these people in this debate or war of ideology is all about distraction. They're in the valley of decision. Many are in the valley of decision. Don't be in the valley. You need to rise to the top of the mountain. That's where the goat is. That's cardinal Earth, ruled by Saturn. We need to come out of this confusion and don't get involved in this game that they're playing. I want to take us over to Stellarium. And we're going to look at this in the zodiac using some Bibble babble. I call it, I'm fixing to screw the scribes that scribbled the scriptures and gave us Bibble babble at Babylon. And I've already told you, if you want to unbibble that Babel, you need to get a thesaurus and start learning some alternate versions of these words, and also the etymology. I always give you the links. And to get with the program on how to decipher all of this stuff. See if I can get this in here. Don't do that. I don't want that. How do I get my program back? It's hiding it from me. Let me do this one down. This is not working. There we go. want to engage you. And it's doing it again. Mercury retrograde. It's just not going to let me do this. I have fought this. This is the third time I'm actually attempting to make this video, and I don't think it's going to let me. Let me rearrange that and see if I can pull it in here. Why, oh why, today, I'm fixing to have to give up on this, I reckon. Because it's just flat not working for me. One more time, launch it this way. There we go. Gotta have this bar down here. Come on, let me have it. Wow. I can't believe it's putting me through this. This is almost ridiculous. There we go. Now I know I've got it. Alright. Some of this is repeat for you, but if I keep repeating it to you, eventually it's going to sink in. In that day you'll have no need of the sun or of the moon. All of this confusion came in the time of Leo, the time of the kings of the earth. The lion being the sigil of Babylon, and confusion ruled by the sun. It is at the bottom of the fixed cross. Straight across, Regulus and Thalum are opposite each other on that cross. And then the moon ruled by the age of water and Cancer, where we had the flood. And then they have been perpetrating this on us through the ages of Gemini, Taurus, Aries, and now Pisces, into this false king, false confusion, and have just been ruling us as slaves ever since, as the flock over here in Egypt comes out into the age of Aries, the Pleiades being the flock in Egyptian. Now, Saturn rules these two ages. Aquarius, the age of knowing, being opposite on the zodiac as the lion in the age of confusion. Cardinal Earth, Most High Earth, being opposite Most High Water in the age of Cancer. Both of these being ruled by Saturn. So when Saturn, our Father who art in heaven, comes on the scene, we will have no need of Leo confusion and Cancer, the moon, the sun, and water, those two ages, because we will know. We're going to be in the knowing. Right now we are in that battle of the changing of the ages, referred to as Gog and Magog. I've showed you the symbols. In this age you can say it's the symbol of Dagon, half fish, half man. And then there's this Santa Claus character they keep dropping on us. He's got on black boots, he's dressed in red, but he's got white. Everything's there but yellow. And they put it over here at the winter solstice. When these colors are yellow and white, they have no red and black. It's not there. Here's today. Very interesting. Everything's all crowding up in Scorpio, that hidden eagle, with the moon and Jupiter over here in Libra. Mercury still retrograde. I'm having trouble uploading videos. I've got a couple on deck, and this one's fixing to go right behind them, that it keeps telling me try again later. Loving, finally, Saturn in Sagittarius. This is the battle of the ideologies. And that's what they're playing out in the news for you, trying to provoke you emotionally. When I say just get the popcorn, sit back, watch the show, enjoy it. That's how it plays out in the Valkyries. They're all sitting in the theater watching the end of the world. It's the end of the world age, because we're fixing to walk into a new age. And it is not the doom and gloom we've been told. It is the doom and gloom, but not where we're told. When Egypt fell, when Jerusalem rose, Cairo fell. When Rome rose, Jerusalem fell. As the new age comes in, Rome must fall. It is the empire of Jupiter that's coming down. And there's nothing they can do about that. They're trying to hijack the new age as, let's see if I can get this to come up. Let me do it this way. Because this thing sure is not cooperating with me today. And I know it's not now. Can I minimize this? We'll just do it this way. That way I know it's in screen. I've done it 3 times where as I changed the screen, my screencast wasn't catching it. And of course, it makes me lose my train of thought when I do that. So as we move into this new age, they're trying to build this wall. That wall will not be allowed to be built. If it does, it signals the time of you divided my land. That's Saturn speaking. And he's not speaking about the Jerusalem that's in the Middle East. This is the New Jerusalem. That's what this new place is. And that title belongs actually to Lima, Peru. But the law is the L law. That's why you have Walmart. It's the law. All of that is run by war and Mars. And the war is within you. It's emotionally. Saturn rules, tells you it's about self-discipline. Saturn teaches you how to control your emotions. And you know somebody that has their emotions controlled when they have their tongue. It's all about the tongue. The tongue is the serpent. The teeth are the pearly gates. Your mouth and your digestive system is the bottomless pit. The locusts that come out of the bottomless pit is what I refer to as propaganda. And that is pro-pagan. We've been in, which is Saturn, that pan flute. That's why the Native Americans venerate Saturn, Pan, with feathers, and the flute. Their symbolism tells you who they are. Now, the Vatican has done drug all their stuff to South America. The Bushes have bought up a bunch of stuff in South America. Prince Charles has gone down there and built a bronze statue of himself and slapped it in the middle of the Amazon, changing their name from Tudor, which were supposed to be our teachers, into Windsor. And they're banking their money on the red-headed Harry to take this position. It's not who everybody thinks it is. And this is all false. This is all the wrong one. This new age belongs to Reuben, the firstborn. Ru meaning red, and Ben, sun. They're waiting on the black sun, which is represented by Venus or Lucifer, which does play a part in this new age, because Venus, along with Mercury, rule under Saturn in the ages of air and water. I meant air and earth. Venus rules cardinal and fixed, and Mercury rules mutable. That's why he's the trickster. He's actually the bad guy, in some sense. Not all the time, but he does play tricks. Be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. Ruling that mutable earth, that magic they were told to stay away from, that actually destroys this age. In their representation, it was the feet mixed with miry clay. And that feet of iron, Mars, iron mixed with miry clay, which is Virgo Mercury. So they were making commerce Mercury from war Mars. If any of that makes sense to any of you, and this is all part of that battle, war of Gog and Magog and the Iron Man. So Iron Man's going to be gone. Thor's gone. Thor representing Jupiter. Thor and Iron Man, Mars and Jupiter work together. And they basically hijack Mercury because he's mutable. He rules mutable heavens and mutable earth. They used him in Gemini to bring down a lot of this confusion that came out of the age of Leo that they dug up. They reinvented the heavens. It was mutable heavens. They changed it so water never touches earth again. Now it's fire on earth. And they have been perpetrating this and continuing on to rule over us as our masters. Their time is up. Don't get caught up in the valley of decision in this battle of Gog and Magog. You need to plant your feet and look up and know. You can know. We need to know. There is still indecisions because they don't know. They don't have a clue. Because and most of it's because they're too emotionally invested. We're told there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is death. And judge not, lest ye be judged. By what measure you judge others is the same measure you're going to be judged by. And we're seeing that play out as well with all of this political scandal where sex is concerned. And Hollywood and the media, and they're pointing fingers at each other without wiping off their own doorstep first. They need to clean the skeletons out of their own closets because karma's here. And she is having a good time exposing all of this Hegelian dialect and all of this evil that's been perpetrated. And had they just kept their mouth shut, they would have gotten away with it. But because they pointed a finger, then you too must be judged by what measure you judge others. And we all need to keep that in mind as we move into this age of one instant karma. Your works will follow you. Men will know you by your fruit. And now we understand what this fruit is. But take control of your emotions. Don't react. Don't become emotionally invested in this. You have to observe it and learn from it. Come out of confusion. Come out of that valley of decision. That battle of Gog and Magog. And walk into the future now. The kingdom is now if you want to walk in it. All you have to do is cut your ties with these ideologies of Jupiter and Mars that have been perpetrated on us, that have been programmed into us from our traditions, our educations, our religions, our political. This crap is coming at us from every possible way. And even through it all, as thick as it is, we still know there's something more and there's something wrong. We know there's something wrong. We know inside this is not all there is. And we look and we search. But be careful on tying yourself to any of these ideologies. The age to come is about know thyself. It is about the pineal gland. Here's another verse the Bible babbled on us. When they told us in Daniel that this about the ram and the he-goat, and they've told us the he-goat was Alexander the Great and that it was democracy. No, it's not. It hadn't happened yet. The he-goat comes out of the west even. Think about that. He is a man. That's Aquarius. And the goat is Capricorn. So the he-goat, and he's got one horn. That's that one school of thought, and that is Saturn. And it comes out of the middle of his head, which is the pineal gland. And it comes across from the west and covers the whole world. That is not Alexander the Great. That is Thalem, the Lamb himself. So their interpretations have made us think in a particular way, that we believe what we're told. When if we would just look at it symbolically and for what it is, we'll understand a lot more clearly. They want us to believe it was Alexander the Great. But like I said, that has not happened yet. What can I add to that? Saturn being about the pineal gland in Aquarius, it being about astrology, it being about karma. Those red words are read for a reason, and they should be read as such. All right, I think that about covers most of what I wanted to say. I think I got my point across, that you understand, and that this age to come is not about democracy. It's not about a republic. It's going to be about a monarchy, but not the monarchy the wind czars want us to believe. To me, that is the false X, the false Chris. And I haven't, when this new one comes, it's going to come so fast, it's in the twinkling of an eye. Guess what eye that is? That's the third eye, the single eye, that we're told to practice. If thine eye be single, thy body be whole. So my advice is, don't get caught up in the Gog and Magog. Just go meditate. Go into that third eye. Move from that lower brain to that upper house. And that's where you will meet him. When you connect to the pineal gland, guess where that connects to in the heavens? Straight to Thalem. Straight to it. And that's why Aleister Crowley was able to channel what he called Lamb. He called him Lamb. And he gave you the word Thelema, which is a play on Thalem. But it was a play. It's deceptive. You have to be able to see through it and to hear through it. You have to have eyes to hear and ears to see. And go commit that random act of kindness every single day. It's going to benefit you and the world, especially where karma is concerned. But don't get caught up in the battle of Gog or Magog. They're trying to move us to a one world order. And to do that, they must get rid of the other orders. An order is a fraternity. I did that wrong. It's a fraternity. It's a lodge. It is a school of thought. And they want to move it all to one, because they understand what the template of this next age must be. They're just going to give you the false template. It's going to look real. It's going to feel real. It's going to seem right. But if you can get into this linguistic part of it and learn what they're doing, they told you in Highlander it was between the Scottish Rite and the Russians. And that's playing out right now in television, as America is under the Blue Scottish Rite, Albert Pike, and then the Russians. And they have to behead them, because there can be only one. And then that one gets all the power. But that's not the way it's going to happen either. That's what they want. And in a way, the Scottish Rite will be involved, because it is under Lucifer or Venus. But this is about Saturn. And those who have hijacked the costume of Saturn, playing as Saturn, are going to be in a big bad of trouble here very, very soon. Everybody's fixing to wake up and realize who's who and what's really going on. I'm trying to get you people ahead of the game so that when you wake up, you don't crash and burn because it's a new paradigm. I love doing it this way because a paradigm is a pair of dimes, and that's XX, and that's 20. 1010 is 20, double X is 20, and we're coming into 2020. And that's when all of this plays out, when Saturn and Jupiter meet, and they do it in Saturn's house. But Pluto's going to be there. And Pluto and Saturn are in Jupiter's house right now, stripping away those Jupiterian ideologies. All right. Some more bibble babble for you, connected to just about everything, so that we can screw the scribes the way they screwed us. Go commit that random act of kindness every single day. Make the world a better place. Make you a better place. And a better person. And it's locking me down